as you can see, it's a bit of a botch job. The tool between the loops and then you just pull it. A wee quick run through the specs of a Fendt. We've just turned up as they're starting to make their way across the beach. Got a wee party of cows following me this morning. Morning Holly! What a beat! Big breakdown. It's the drill working there. Right, good morning. I've been along the road to yard 2, sorted out the pigs and whatnot. Kev's currently grading tatty, so we're going. We've got cows to feed here and then I'll help him grade these spuds. So this is our tatty dresser. It's a wee machine, but it does the job for what we're needing it. So hopper's in here. You can see the spuds drop out. Hold on, I'll get a torch on. You can see all the spuds in there. Conveyor belt takes them from the hopper, and they go up this elevator, and then go along the top, round the back, and then they come into there. You can see them jumping along. Come over the top there. Shoot all the way along. All the way along this end. And then they drop down. Land on this wee mat. And then there's grid sizes. So wee things that are useless fall through that grid and the cows eat them. So ones that fall through the gap here get backed up. And then if they end up over there, they're used for baking potatoes in the shop. Because they're the big ones and everyone likes a big baked potato. Like that one, that'll go over there. Then they come down here. It's on a weight thing here, so now this is full. And then I grab them here. I get a wee metal wire here. It's a cable tie but metal. Put the wire around there and put this wee tool in. Hold on, this is tricky with one hand. Put the tool between the loops and then you just pull it. And this is the pile, so once we're done it should be up to here. And all the bakers go in this box. Nice baked tatty. What we get in there? Coronation chicken, egg meal. What do you have in your baked tatty? I've caught up with the bags that are needing tied, so I've got some ammonia straw feeders to fill up, so I'll just do that and the bags will build up again. I've just the one unwrapped, so I'll get a few done for, well, I'll get them later. Let it air at least a few hours. Also today we've got hens going away, so our hens are split into 2 sheds and kind of a few months apart, so we get the peak of laying of one shed and not the other shed, so we're not out of 2 sheds at the same time. Anyway, there's one shed going away today, so there's crates arrived and a squad all arrived to catch them all. We used to catch them all, but we now get a squad. Come in, blitz them, catch them all, and they'll most likely end up for cat food. Just because after we give them 13 months, and after that their production just tails off massively. The amount of eggs they produce, so it's not economical to keep them longer than that. Coos are also needed bedding. There's no other bales open, so I'll let them just munch this one and then I'll fill in the other feeder later on today once those bales are a bit more aired. Got a few bags to do now. This kind of year, coming up Christmas time, people are looking for big bags of spuds, so we're going to bag up a few big bags just so we've got them in a shop, and if people want to buy a 25 kilo bag they can. 25 kilo bag, would you get through that at Christmas time? The last spud. Sit. Paul. Hey. Right, we've just been changing the gates how they're held because they've managed to knock something free, the cows. So we've got it a bit beefier. Kev's away to start shifting boxes for the hens, the catchers have come. So I've put a few chains in, just bolted so they stay like that rather than, because this is where they get fed. So they push on that all the time. So it just puts a bit of strain on it, so hopefully that'll keep it solid. They didn't escape or anything, they were just dislodging things and moving things about because they're big beasts when they're leaning against it. And then while we've got the troughs out of the way, I'm just going to, once I get the forklift back, scrape along this edge and clean it up a bit and then get the troughs back in, just get a bit messy out the front. It just, that's where they eat, so they step on it and push it and it just floods out the front. So these are the crates of the hens, 1, 2, 3, they're all in there just now. And a lorry just arrived there, if you can see it, the sun's in the way, but the lorry's just arrived to pick them up. So they'll end up going to a cat food, probably factory, the hens, and they'll get turned it into cat food. That's where they usually end up. There's no value in them, we don't get paid for them, just get them away. I think we used to get a wee bit for them, but you don't anymore. They're basically valueless. And I'm just putting these pallets in that trailer because there's a bit of a gap in a fence along the road where the sheep are, and I'm hoping it's just a wee enough gap that I can put some pallets in and plug it before it gets a proper job done on the fence. Right, we're good to go. A few pallets. That field along there that I'm going to, basically, it's needing all new re-fence, the whole thing. So it's not just a 5-minute job to do all that. So hopefully we can just patch it for now until we get round to getting it all squared up and sorted. We're also needing feeding along at yard 3, so he's going along on his tractor to yard 2 where we're going to where the fields are to get a trailer as well. We'll fix that and then we'll come back and fill his trailer up with feeding so he can get feeding along to yard 3. We've just turned up as they're starting to make their way across the wheat. They usually head right out over the way to the other side of that wheat field. So, and this is wheat as well. There's one field here and then a big field over there. Kev's just headed down and sending them the right way, so we'll get them right the back way over. This grass goes right the way over, so we just need to stop them getting over this way, because then they see the wheat and they're straight in. I don't see why, there's more grass in there than wheat, but they like it. I'm actually never out here in this grass. There's quite a good bit, and fences and gates, and I don't know where all the gates are, but clearly there's a gate here. So they're going through there, we'll shut that off, and then in that same fence line there's a bit of a gap up here where they come through. You'll see it once we go up there, and that's the one we're plugged. So if we shut this gate and plug up there, and then see what happens. I don't know if I'll get up this hill. Steep. No problem. That's how steep it is. That's not that steep. See, this fence isn't all that bad. There's a gap up here. You can see it's been plugged before. It's all fallen to pieces and the back's through again, so fill in the gap and hope for the best. And we're done. As you can see, it's a bit of a botch job. But hopefully it'll keep the sheep out. Will the sheep be on the grass tomorrow morning, or will they be in the wheat? Time will tell, and it's anyone's guess. Right, massey's getting picked up, and so I need to get this trailer off it. Kev had a go in it in a trailer, pulled pretty good. I don't know why all tractors do not have quick release levers, they're great. Massey's away, I've just filled up with fuel. I'm just going to have a wee quick run through the specs of a Fendt so we can get a rough quote, because it gave us a rough quote and it came in basically bang on the same as the John Deere, which we were not expecting at all, so it's worth exploring the option. Originally we weren't looking at Fendts because the perception is they're way more expensive than the rest, which they're actually not. Right, we've got this chiller to empty because it's getting moved. Right, the chill's empty. We're actually changing that chill into a freezer unit for 6 months until we get other things done. There's just a bit of logistics to happen in the next few months. I'm just turning off water at the hens since this hut went out. Not needing water. Lights are off in the hens because the power's off, but I need to go up and drain the water out the end of these drink feeders. So these are the drink feeders, so they drink out of here, but there's water tanks to be emptied, so up here. There you go, and it drains all the way out. So these hen sheds, two of them, they're basically on skids. They're getting a bit tired and old and we're needing to replace them. That's a bit of a future project, but basically on skids. So we get the digger in, drags it out into the field basically, and then you get left all the hen pen that's built up. Get rid of all that, clear it all out, and then what happens is, with me and Kev this year, start start cleaning the whole thing down. Get it's all disinfected, clean. It takes a couple of days. Dunk and Kev usually do it, but Dunk's retired now, so I guess I'm taking that job. Me and Kev will be out cleaning that probably next Monday, Tuesday, in a week's time or so, because it's getting shifted on Friday. If anyone's looking for a new silencer for the exhaust system, there's one. Just magically appeared on the farm. Don't know where it's come from, don't know whose car it's off, but it's scrapped now. Right, there's a bit of a break in the weather, like my hat. So Ken's going to take the feeding along the road. Oh, there's a bit more rain. It looks clear enough. Quickly get the feeding along the road. I need to turn everything off in here. I was in here getting that massey out to fill it up with diesel, so get this shut, get this locked. Right, while all these troughs are out the way, I'm just going to clean up this front edge. It's getting a bit manky. Right, it's a bit nicer. Put the troughs back in now. Don't fall. Right, I've got the cows all squared up, feeders are all filled up, troughs are back in, this bit's cleared, they're all bedded, they look happy. Just need to grab my tools that I had earlier, that's it.